Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic. Today is an interesting video because we're doing something we've never really done, and that's looking back at IAYTD and all the videos we put out and kind of filtering through what I think are some underappreciated gems that never really got the love I think they deserve. So as of now, we've put out over 400 videos and we have over 3 million views, which is crazy considering I'm just a guy in a corner of my bedroom, basically. So what have you missed? What are the videos that you need to check out? So I've got 10 here that we're gonna go through and I'm gonna give you my pitch for why you should go back and check them out. The links for all 10 of these are gonna be the pinned comment down in the comments. Now, a lot of what I talk about on my channel is entertainment, so movies, TV, video games, comic books, all that stuff. And so a couple of these videos are about certain shows or passions that I have, and they never really picked up steam. And one of my favorites is the What is Futurama video. Now, a lot of you probably haven't watched this because you know what Futurama is, but what this video is for you to share with people and say, hey, we should watch Futurama. I don't know, what's that about? Watch this video. So check out the video for What is Futurama. I think that is a prime example of how to share with someone a TV show that you know you already like. I also use my videos as a chance to share niche little corners of certain hobbies, and one of those is modding. And so what is modding? And this is talking about video games, but how people tweak them and change them and make a game into something sometimes almost unrecognizable. So I had a lot of fun with my modding video, looking up some of the coolest, strangest mods and showcasing what sort of stuff is possible. So if you're into games but you don't really know a lot about modding, that video is perfect for you. Also, on the same note of technology, I like to do history, and I like to do videos about a company or something and kind of how they got to be where they are. And one of my favorites is What is Apple? And looking at the timeline of Apple and how things have been invented and things have progressed. And so there's a lot of interesting things here if you don't have the patience to sit down and watch one of the many movies made about Steve Jobs. If you just want the cliff notes, my What is Apple video will do it. I also like to talk about what's relevant and happening. And one of the big kind of trends that has taken over the last couple years is the emergence of Funko Pops. So my What is Funko Pops video kind of talks about the history and where this company came from and how this exploded and how do people collect them. So if you're into Funko Pops, that video and that history should be really interesting to you. Now, I also do What is videos on things that are obscure and probably not really in nerd culture the way that you think, but kind of tangentially. And so some of my favorite videos that have been super fascinating, but you probably wouldn't think that you'd want to click on them, are some of my What is videos, like what is cryptozoology? You know, what are these animals that people think exist? You know, there's people out there that they're trying to hunt down these creatures and study things that, you know, maybe there's no proof that they exist. So What is Cryptozoology is a really interesting one. I also have one about carnivorous plants that was super fascinating to make because there are plants that eat and need other living beings to survive. You know, we're talking about like Venus flytraps, but there's a lot of different types and there are tricks that they use to kill other things. It's fascinating. So check out those two if you want something a little weirder. And then sometimes I do What is videos on things that aren't even tangentially related to nerd culture, but things that people just don't know about. So for example, I have one about Michelin stars. So if you're into food or cooking or traveling, you want to know what a Michelin star is, and you want to know what are the criteria to get different Michelin stars. What are some facts? Who has the most Michelin stars? What does that mean? That video will do it. I think it's super interesting, but never really gained a lot of traction. Now, those are things I don't usually talk about, but there are things that I talk about all the time. And one of those is comic books, and I do some deep dives into certain characters and lore and things like that. And one of those videos that never really took off the way that some of them have is a video about Doctor Strange and the title of Sorcerer Supreme and who has held that title. And I go through every character that's been Sorcerer Supreme, the Sorcerer Supremes of different universes and dimensions and all that. Super interesting, but it didn't take off like some of my other videos about Omega level mutants, or different sorts of history and different titles. This one just didn't really grab people, but I think if you want a long video just to put on the background and learn some things, that'll do it. Now lastly, I've got 2 left, and both of them are playlists. They are series that I thought people would be interested in, and they didn't really take off. My lowest viewed videos across the board are word up videos. And so I've kind of stopped doing them. Every once in a while, if I think of one, I'll do it. But my word up videos, not very successful. But they are interesting and they're quick. In a minute, you can learn about a word, here's some examples, and how to use it. So I recommend going to that playlist and just looking through there. And if you want to be able to engage in dialogue about stuff that we all care about, these are words you should know. So look through and just be like, I don't know that one. Watch it. Okay, I don't know that one. Watch it. Just go through, look for the ones that you don't know anything about. So that is one series that didn't really take off. The other series is more recent, and I tried, so there's 3 videos up. No one cares, and that is called Names and Games. And it's unfortunate because I put a lot of work into those videos because it's basically a biography about a person with facts and interview snippets and clips of their games, and there's a lot of stuff there, and those videos aren't easy. And so I've kind of stopped because I realized it's not worth the time. But if you want to go back and see the first 3 episodes of Names and Games, check out that link down there. If you're into games at all and you want to know who are these people and why do people talk about them, these are 3 of the creators that you should know about. And maybe someday if I end up with a lot of extra time, I might do a couple more because there's other video game creators that I just think are interesting. We'll see. But for now, check out those 3 and see what you think. So those are my 10 suggestions. In my 3 years of doing YouTube, those are the ones that I think didn't get the attention that really they deserve. So go down to the comments, look up a couple and check them out. If there's other videos that I put out that you're like, that was my favorite, let me know. I always could use some positive affirmation. Also, maybe tell me how you ended up here. What was the video that got you to this channel? Was it 68 Avengers that show up in Infinity War? Was it what is Cthulhu? What got you here? Because that'll help me figure out what works and what's bringing in new viewers. So let me know down in the comments kind of how you ended up here and what are some highlights for you. So thanks for watching as usual. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media and all that jazz. And thanks for watching.